Iya.
Sudah kan? Pengen YouTube saya kan, cuman memang nggak lambe.
Ya.
Ini adalah lah itu dulunya di patokan punya, ini pasti lah do delay.
Kalau ada.
Mana aman? Ada sih, ada sekarang kenapa? Udah masuk ke suara Pak? Udah. Oke.
Udah.
Matiin mic-nya Pak.
Bisa YouTube ya?
Bisa. Udah. Tes, tes, tes. Nah.
Ada suara yang bocor. Ada suara yang bocor.
Udah mut, aku udah mut.
Belum.
Jadi kata, berapa ya?
Baru lagi di mute.
Kalau sekitarnya berisik masuk nggak sini?
Suara tadi di mute kan? Ya,
Udah
bocor.
di
Bocor.
Tes. Ini harus on ini sekarang. Tes.
Masuk, masuk. Cara kayaknya boleh cara link data sebelum Pak kan? Udah.
Pak Anas masih on.
Jadi Nah, jadikan pin dulu Pak WR 4 tuh.
แม่งั้นแค่นี้ก่อนนะเดี๋ยวทำงานก่อน
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the IMT-GT Uninet Virtual Mobility Program Teen Talk Project Series 4. The theme of this series is Scaling Up Social Entrepreneurship in Developing Countries. Is it more sustainable for future economic growth? Welcome, students from Thailand, Indonesia, Malaysia. Okay. We got more than 500 students here, audience. My name is Ares Albiru Amsal. You can call me Ares. For those who don't know me, I'm a young lecturer in Universitas Andalas. It's such an honor to welcome you, and I will serve as a moderator for this event. First of all, let us pray and praise to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of His blessing and mercy, we can join together without any obstacle here with healthy condition in this event. Second, let us greet and pray to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had brought us to the path of light and left the darkness in this life. The Honorable Vice Rector for Universitas Andalas, Dr. Hefrizal Hendra, the Honorable Dr. Hafiz Rahman as our keynote speaker, the Honorable Head and Staff of International Office from 3 countries and 6 universities, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand, Universitas Andalas, Universitas Shah Kuala from Indonesia, University Utara Malaysia, University Malaysia Perlis from Malaysia, Yaksin University, and Prince of Songkla University from Thailand. And of course, my beloved presenters and participants for this occasion. Before we go to the main session, let us start this by praying first, so the event that we will hold on this day will run well without any obstacle at all. Pray based on individual belief begins. Done. Ladies and gentlemen, on this nice occasion, let me deliver the structure of the event today as follows. Right now, we are on opening and registration for a meeting room. And immediately after this, we will have opening remarks by Vice Rector for Planning, Development, and Corporation Affairs, Universitas Andalas, Dr. Hefrizal Hendra. Then we will have keynote speech from the expert of entrepreneurship in Universitas Andalas, Dr. Hafiz Rahman. Then I will introduce the presenting teams, Team A until Team D, and I will give the introduction of the forum topics and explanation of the rules and regulation of the presentation. The presentation from Team A until Team D will be held at 9:45 until 10:55. At the middle of the presentation, Team B and C, there will be a 10-minute break time between 10:15 until 10:25. Then we will have interim break and collection of question and answer at 11 until 11:10. And the audience can ask a question to the presenters around 11:10 to 11:40. Of course, we will have a voting and award session for the best presenters at 11:45 until 11:50. So we hope your contribution and your voice to vote which one is the best presenters in this occasion. To sum up this event, we will have concluding remarks by the Head International Office Universitas Andalas, Dr. Foni Indah Mutiara. And the last session is will be photo session between 11:55 until 12. And we will end this occasion exactly, inshallah, at 12 o'clock. Now we invite Dr. Hafizah Hendra to give us a first speech for opening remark. To Dr. Hafizah Hendra, time is yours.
Thank you very much, Ares. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Very good morning to all of us and Sawadee-Kap. Dear all distinguished guests and colleagues and students from all universities that are attending this program, especially 6 universities incorporated in IMT-GT Uninet, Universitas Syah Kuala, Universitas Andalas, Taksin University, Prince of Songkla University, University of Malaysia Perlis, and University Utara Malaysia. Welcome to IMT-GT Uninet Virtual Mobility Program, Teen Talk Project Series 4, with the theme Scaling Up Social Entrepreneurship in Developing Countries. It is more sustainable for future economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and colleagues, it is already more than 1 year we have been in this pandemic situation that made us not be able to meet directly in person. But I know, and we all know, that we cannot stop here. Our innovation and our creativity cannot be stopped, even though we cannot sit in a room together. So we are making another room, virtual room, and I hope we still can learn, creating ideas, and today's discussion can bring new spirit for all of us to be better and better in the future. And at this very moment, while here in Indonesia, we are going to celebrate our 76 years Independence Day. In the next 6 days, I'm inviting all of us to take a moment to pray for the condition that we face today. COVID-19, hopefully, we are praying will meet and end soon, and we can continue our normal daily activity. And at the end, I would like to say thank you for all of you and to the people behind this amazing activity. I saw more than 600 participants attending this occasion, this activity. I wish this meeting and discussion will successful until it finishes. In the name of the Rector Andalas, Universitas Andalas, I'm glad to give this opening remarks, and thank you so much, and hope you all have a good day and discussion. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Hafizah Hendra, for giving us opening remark in this event. We hope that this event will strengthen the relationship and partnership of 6 universities in 3 countries. Now let's move to the next agenda. We will have the keynote speech from entrepreneurship expert in Universitas Andalas, Dr. Hafiz Rahman. Before the session began, let me introduce our speaker. Right. Dr. Hafiz Rahman is a lecturer in Department of Management, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Andalas. He holds PhD degree in Business School from University of Huddersfield, United Kingdom. His master degree in entrepreneurship in Institution for SMEs Development. He got it from University Leipzig, Germany. And for his bachelor degree, he was graduated from Universitas Andalas, Indonesia. He has published enormous article journal in the field of entrepreneurial success and value factors, social entrepreneurship, youth entrepreneurship, culture, spiritual entrepreneurship, related to the types of culture that can hinder or determine the foster entrepreneurship. To Dr. Hafiz Rahman, please welcome. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ares. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Pak Rektor, Pak Vice Rektor, Pak Hefrizal Handra. Good morning, all of the committee. Good morning, all of my the beloved students. Thank you very much for giving me chances to present something related to social entrepreneurship. Yeah, I have around 30 minutes to talk, including questions and answer, and I hope I can be quick, and you can and after that you can raise your questions to me, and we will have a very nice discussion related to entrepreneurship. As you can see that our topics for today is related to to scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries, and what come next is the most important one. Is it more sustainable for future economic growth? So there is a doubt whether these kinds of entrepreneurship will be more sustainable for economic growth. And I will bring your impression related to these kinds of entrepreneurship, because some of you might have or might not have knowledge related to these kinds of entrepreneurship. So let me start by sharing my screen like this. Where is that? Okay. So this is the title of my presentations this morning: Social Entrepreneurship, Bright Future Ahead. Well, although some of people think that social entrepreneurship having a very good, bright future, but it is still a big question whether these kinds of entrepreneurship is actually bright for the future. Yeah. So let me introduce this kinds of situation to you. Some people, potential entrepreneurs, or the young entrepreneurs, some of them might confuse what is this social entrepreneurship, because this kinds of entrepreneurship, it tries to merge, it tries to mix the social side and also the entrepreneurship side. As you can see that when we talk about social, then normally we will think about non-profit thing. Yeah, non-profit thing. But in the other hand, when you talk about entrepreneurship, normally you will talk about profit. People will talk about profits. Yeah. And I would like to tell you about the conservative opinion and overview related to entrepreneurs. Who are the entrepreneurs actually? Yeah, and entrepreneurs with their characters, with their typical thing. Normally, they will think about how to win the competition.
อันนี้อ่ะ
Pavis,
How to
can I interrupt? Pavis,
yes.
โอ้
can you slideshow Pavis so we can see
อันเดียว
brief?
เดี๋ยวมันมีฟรีเดี๋ยวเอาเองจ้ะ
ซึ่งวันนี้
เดี๋ยวนะ
Oh,
มันจะฟรี
can you
Trang-
see my
Okay.
slide?
ช่วงนาที
Yes, it's a small
อ่ะจะ
slide.
เบอร์ตัวจับ
Okay.
กับยันกับ
Oh yeah. I can. I will.
มัน
go
จะ
for-
ฟรีแต่ว่า
for-
เพิ่ง
yeah.
Slideshow,
สามารถกดเลยกัน
Yep.
ร้อยอัน
Yes. Okay. When we talk about an entrepreneur, normally we will talk about someone who wants to win the competitions. And in the same time, entrepreneurs also think about how their business will become sustainable. Entrepreneurs also think about innovation, managing the business, profit-oriented, productivity, efficiency, effectivity, and catch opportunities. And because of all of this thing, all of this demands, they tend to exploit resources. Yeah? They tend to exploit resources. And this is, of course, will raise problems. And because of that, some of problems will arise within our environment, within our social environment. What is that? The typical problems and phenomena such as because of the business operation, environmental degradation, social exclusion, economic and market failure, unequal income distribution. Especially in the developing countries, you can see that the rich becomes richer, the poor become poorer. Yeah. The roles of family and gender. As you can see now, there are the tendency of the race of roles of women, roles of female in family, in economy, in business, and so on. And of course, that will raise some kinds of social phenomena within our social environment. And marginality of a certain group of societies because of the business operation, because of the development process, and impact of technology and media to the children. I'm sure that you are a millennial, then you cannot live without your gadget, without your devices. And this one, of course, can separate you to your social environment. You will lose empathy to someone else because of that. And this is and so many things, so many typical problems, so many social phenomena that rise within our society. And so what is the problem? So and the problems raise because as the consequences of business operation and social environmental phenomena in our societies. So social entrepreneurship tries to respond to this problem. The business operation, consequences of business operation in terms of excessive exploitation of the resources, social environmental phenomenon, as we can see in my previous slide, that there are so many kinds of social phenomena surrounding us in today's world. And social entrepreneurship tries to respond to that situation. And the good thing is that there are a kinds of awareness raised from the potential entrepreneurs. Potential entrepreneurs, sorry. But and the situation currently can be seen like this inside entrepreneur's mind. So I need to be more socially responsible, and I need to be aware of the environment. So that is in the one thing as a psychological construction in entrepreneurs, that they need to be more social responsible and they need to be aware of the environment. But in the other hand, of course, entrepreneurs need to ensure the future of their business. How? They will innovate socially, they will invest in their social environment. And this is where social entrepreneurship will take place. And we will have a look at to the simple definition of social entrepreneurship. What is it? If you think that social entrepreneurship is a kind of an institution, non-profit institution, no, it's not. It's not profits making money. Social entrepreneurship, social business, social enterprise is still profit making institution. Is it? It's not for profits doing things to show that entrepreneurs and business are not evil. It's not like that. So if you want to give donation, if you want to give charity to the needy, to the less, to the marginalized people, then it's not that. It's not the donation. It's not the charity from your business. Yeah. But the thing is that social entrepreneurship is a process to create value by bringing together a unique package of resources to exploit an opportunity in pursuit of high social returns. This means that the most important thing in social entrepreneurship is creating value to exploit opportunities. So that's why social entrepreneur, social business, and social enterprise, normally they will look at to the social phenomenon, they will look at to the social problems, they will look at to the consequences of business operation, for example, the pollution, for example, the children on the streets, something like that. And based on that, they create a business which has a high social returns. In terms of what? In terms of benefits for the society at large. And we truly understand that our government cannot solve every social problems, every social phenomenon surrounding us. And this is where the social entrepreneurs tries to contribute in to tackle that situation. So based on that, we can see now that social entrepreneurship is a kind of assisting government to solve social phenomenon in our social environment. So from that situation, we now understand that in social entrepreneurship, normally there will be a two balanced thing. The first is social dimensions. The second thing is economic dimension. Both of these things both of these dimensions should be considered by the social entrepreneurs, by the social enterprise, when they claim that, okay, we are social enterprise. What is that? The dimension the enterprise should have social dimension in terms of benefit to the community. You cannot say that, okay, our enterprise, our business, recruit somebody else as become us as our employees. Not like that, because every enterprise will have an employee. But the large benefit to the community, apart from that employment opportunity. So this is an initiative launched by a group of citizens. And decision-making is not based on capital ownership, like in corporation. If you know the system of the corporations, you will know that the majority, the decision will be taken by the majority of the stockholders, like that. And there will be stakeholder involvement in social entrepreneurship and limited profit distribution. What is that limited profit distribution? Because some of the profit will be spread out to the community, to the social environment. And this is the most important thing, that we don't need to rely on the social side, but we also need to rely on the economic dimension of these kinds of entrepreneurship. What is that? There should be continuous activity producing goods or selling services. This means that there should be an institution, there should be a company which produce goods or selling services, and from there they will get some revenue and profit. A high degree of autonomy, because the entity is a company, then there is an autonomy to use that resources, to use every resources belongs to the company. Of course, there is economic risk. Please don't think that social business cannot be bankrupt. It can be bankrupt. Depends on how you can manage that business. And a minimum amount of paid work. So social entrepreneurship relies on the voluntary, relies on the internship programs, something like that. But if you look at the psychological sides of entrepreneurs, they will always think about profit. And this is where the conflicting interests raise. Whether entrepreneurs aware, but consequently they will have less profit, or just to keep maximizing their profit. That's the conflicting interest related to social business, social enterprise. And what I can say to you is that based on the company trends and development or progress, something like that, normally the bigger the company, the bigger the tendency they will try to maximize their profit and just allocates donation and charity. Yeah. So this is the conflicting interest in entrepreneurs' minds. And from that one, we just think about the social entrepreneurs. Is it just a trend? Is it just a trend? Is this social entrepreneurship is just a trend? Because entrepreneurs and enterprise will always be profit-oriented, which tends to massively exploit resources. That is the very good, the big questions related to social entrepreneurship and social enterprise that we need to be very that we need to be highly considered or related to. However, some statistical claims says that, for example, in Australia, okay, we have more 20,000 social enterprise, and it's grown 70%, 75% over the past 5 years. And this statistical claims tries to say that, okay, we have, and so many countries have the tendency of the increasing number of social enterprise in their uh, in their countries, but we don't know whether it really contributes to economic development of a country. Well, in Canada, 81% describe themselves as having social purposes. In European Union, 1 out of 4 new enterprises set up every year are social enterprises. In Middle East, 20 to 30% of business plan competition are in social enterprise fields. In Philippines, 25% have multi-organizational system which mix for-profit oriented and non-profit corporate oriented. And in Senegal, they said that they have 18.1% of the population are pursuing social entrepreneurial activity, and Vietnam 68% are working towards poverty reduction, and 48 have environmental objective. So many countries tries to claim from their statistical number that there are growing interests related to social entrepreneurship in their country. But the bigger is it, they will contribute to this economic development of a country. And so this is my last slide, just to give you brainstorming this morning. So social entrepreneurship is a relatively a new wave and direction in entrepreneurship field. We know and understand that. A new wave and new direction, but we don't know actually whether it is a trend or will it positively contribute to the economic situation in one country. We also understand that social entrepreneurship needs awareness, needs social environmental response from entrepreneurs, and the caring situation. You care about someone else. You care about your environment, natural environment. And the question is it the typical of young people with a very high motivation, enthusiasm, and so on? This one will be perfectly fit and suitable for young potential entrepreneurs like yourself. And that's why the tendency, if we look at the tendency of social entrepreneurship, social enterprise in many countries, they are operated by young people, which has relatively small to middle scale business. Therefore, it is important to use the young people like you as the trajectory and multiplicator for business, who hopefully can change the future face of the business world. In the past, we also think that when we talk about business, when we talk about enterprise, corporation, we also say we always say about massive exploitation of resources. But for the future, we hope that it can be changed. Future phase of the business world will be changed, not only to massively exploit the resources, but also social, environmentally responsible. And we rely on the young people. And I believe that the young people can have, with their idealism, with their energy, with their enthusiasm, can be the ambassador for the social entrepreneurship. Hopefully. And I think that's all my presentation for today. Thank you very much. And I look forward to have questions and answer with you guys. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Dr. Hafiz Rahman, for giving us the insightful presentation about social entrepreneurship, especially in developing countries. We do believe that many challenges that arise in developing countries that could be solved by the youth in this, for each countries in their nation. But there are some obstacle, or there are some think that people say that it's just a trend, or there are so many things that make the youth, maybe I just want to chase for the money or the profit. How do we gather the motivation and set the prioritize which problem that we have to solve first, and how do we as a youth convince ourselves to choose this track and create a social entrepreneurship to solve the problem around us?
Okay, thank you very much, Aris. It's a very good question. What we need to think about the social entrepreneurship is that the benefit for the social environment and also social returns for communities at large, and also for the business itself. Yeah. When we talk about social entrepreneurship, of course, you will try to deliver some benefits from your business to every community surrounding your companies. And that will be a very good chance for you to invest in your business. So what I would like to highlight is that in the coming future, investment is not solely related to money. We should also consider about social investment in our business. And that can change the face of the business. If you, the more you aware with your social environment, the more you aware with your natural environment, then the bigger chances for you to secure the sustainability of your business, because you will directly invest in your social communities like that. So we need to think about the benefits to the communities at large, and also to the business itself. And the second one is the social returns. Of course, as a businessman or as an entrepreneur, you also need to think about how to secure the future of your business. If you want to secure your business, then it means that you also need to improve the standard of people surrounding your business. And it is important for your business sustainability. Okay, that's
right.
my answer.
Right, we got 700 audience here, and we invite the audience to ask questions to Dr. Hafiz Rahman. You can use a raise hand feature on Zoom, or you can type it on the chat box. Okay. Okay. For while we are waiting for the next question, Dr. Hafiz Rahman, that's the motivation for the youth and how to convince ourselves. How about the university as a higher education institution? What can we do as me as a lecturer, for example? What could I do, or what our department could do? We already have entrepreneurship course in our department, or I'm pretty sure that there are so many entrepreneurship course around the world and around these 6 universities that join this event. What could we do in practical to foster or promote this entrepreneurship in our campus?
Okay. Well, the first thing that we as an educator or as an institution need to think is that we have to think that business is not only about profit currently. Business is always about sustainability. Yeah. So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to spread awareness to our students, that you also need to socially aware to your social environment, to your natural environment. When you try to think about business, when you try to have an business idea related to your business, because if you don't think about that, then it means that you will massively exploit the resources, and it will be dangerous for the future of our next generation. And of course, there is also massive movement from NGOs, from the government, from international institutions about doing responsible business. And this can be shared to the students when they try to become an entrepreneur, when they think about business opportunities that they can catch. And we are in the perfect position to that. Yeah, and I think that's my response to your questions.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiz. I got one question from Agung. It's a simple question, but yet it's very important. What is the difference between social entrepreneurship and charity? Because some of people, or maybe in our country, Indonesia, or Thailand and Malaysia, people tend to give it for money or charity for others. And that trend is that very hype in Indonesia. Okay. So what is the difference between social entrepreneurship and charity?
Okay, so it's a very simple thing. Do not think about that enterprise, corporation, company, entrepreneurs, which gave charity to the people. Don't even think that they are a very good businessman or they are a very good corporation. For example, Freeport Indonesia, gold mining in Papua. They give charity, but in the same time, they also ruin the environment. And that's not the way social entrepreneurship thinks. Social entrepreneurship principle is that, well, okay, I would like to have a business from social phenomenon and environmental phenomenon happens in my communities. And it's not the kinds of charity, but it is more like a motivation and basis to establish your business. That's the social entrepreneurship. But in charity, you just allocate some of your profit and then you give it to the communities. That's the donation. That's the charity. But the social entrepreneurship doesn't work like that. Social entrepreneurship, they operate themselves because they are willing to solve that problem, to solve social and environmental problems. And that's why, if you look at to the business, small and medium scale enterprise, which has disabled people, and that is social entrepreneurship. Yeah, so there are a very clear very clear wall related to the to separate this charity and donation to the awareness and caring as the basis to start and to establish a business, and that is a social entrepreneurship. Okay.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Hafiz Rahman, for a good presentation and giving us insight about social entrepreneurship. And is there any question here? Okay.
I can see
We got, yeah. A question from TSU. Sir, could you give me an option about how can social entrepreneurship maintain their social responsibility during the pandemic? Yeah, this is our condition right now. We deal with pandemic and we also have to maintain the sustainable of our enterprise as well.
Yeah, well, if you look at to the social to this current situation, contextual situation today, that we are still in the pandemic situation, the social entrepreneurship, social enterprise can actually works faster and direct to contribute to solve that pandemic, to take part in solving the pandemic problem. For example, like that, if by securing the supplies for to reduce the pandemic's effect, for example, like that, probably you think that, okay, in my country there is a very limited access to the health facilities, and you try to establish a business which specifically tries to identify, to prognose people with the pandemic. And in one situation, you also you have a business, you get profit from that, and in the other side, you also can help your government to solve this pandemic problems, and that's kinds of business. You probably you become a supplier of medical facilities. You become health provider for the societies with a minimum cost, something like that. That's probably a typical example how social enterprise can take part in solving this problem and pandemic problems like that.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiz Rahman. I think we ran out of time. Yeah. So if you still have one more question.
Okay. We do have here.
We do have one more question from Hema Nantini from WM. Okay. I think this is the last question that we can give in the session. If there is one advice you would give for the youth who's interested to the venture in social entrepreneurship, what would it be? Yeah.
one major thing is that you need to improve your awareness to your social and environmental situation, or you need to have the empathy to your social phenomenon, to your environmental phenomenon, and that will be the perfect basis, the perfect motivation for you to start your own social enterprise. So many social phenomena, so many environmental phenomena, so many business consequences, and from there you can pick business idea that can also solve social phenomena and environmental phenomena in your country. That is the biggest thing that you need to consider once you have an interest to enter into entrepreneurship. Awareness and think about social returns that your communities can get from your social enterprise. Okay, that's all questions.
Thank you.
My answer, sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Hafiz Rahman, for this amazing session that enlightened us about social entrepreneurship. We hope that this keynote speech could motivate the youth and convince them to solve the problem around us and give impact to our society. Next, we move to the next agenda. I will introduce you all of the group A until group D that will present their ideas about social entrepreneurship in each country. Group A, the mentor is Dr. Fadri Adrianto, and the members are Ms. Suhaila Nailimuna, Ms. Christina Zarin binti Zulkapli, Ms. Nurdiana Chewi, Mr. Muhammad Ruli Effendi, Mr. Lim Kenhu, Ms. Supinda Kamjakrafan. Group B, we get the mentor is Delphia Tanjung Sari, Ms. Agia Shahraini, Mr. Muhammad Alif Hilmi bin Muhammad Ali, Mr. Panawit Wongchom, Ms. Delviana Putri Ayu, Ms. Hema Natini, Ms. Kayani Ngontirakot. Group C, we got mentor. The mentor is Dr. Muhammad Fani Al-Farisi. The members are Ms. Diana Puspa Vidya from USK, Mr. Korkayong from UNIMEP, Mr. Komsam Lim Pamas from TSU, Mr. Muhammad Arif Farelino from UNAN, Ms. Kirtiganair from WM, Ms. Pawani Tongjingsang from PSU. And the last but not least, Group D, the mentor is Mrs. Dian Rani Yolanda. The members are Mr. Ahmad Lutfan Milzam from USK, Ms. Najwa Rawaida binti Muhammad Rafain Ipin from UNIMEP, Ms. Kanikarn Lohsa from TSU, Ms. Wilda Anabia Prasasti from UNAN, Ms. Divya Sri from WM, and Mr. Nutkamon Fanik Patarakul from PSU. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name because it's quite challenging for me to pronounce a name from a foreign people, especially if especially from Thailand or Malaysia, because I admit that it's quite challenging for me to pronounce your name very well. Okay, let's move to our next agenda. We will have a presentation from Group A, B, and then we will have a break for 10 minutes. And for the presentation rules, we got for each time allocated a maximum of 15 minutes for the whole presentation. the student might be asked to conclude their presentation if they have used their time, okay? And for the presentation, you can use any software or any tools such as PowerPoint, animation, as long as you can present it on the Zoom screen. And each team is expected to have interaction with the audience. And don't forget to rename your name at the Zoom. For example, like Group A, Unan, Arif Farelino. So the host could spotlight you so you can show up in the screen. Okay, I think we start. Yeah, we could start with Group A. Yeah, please get ready.
You can recognize.
Also, you can raise hand for each for Group A. Use raise hand so we can spotlight you. Okay. Okay, are you ready? You got 15 minutes to present your presentation. You may start Group A. Okay, 15 minutes for you. Okay, you can retry to unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Group A, ready? Everyone audible? You may unmute yourself. Group A.
Yep. Okay. Here.
Okay.
Okay. So just to make sure everyone audible. Okay. So yeah, shall we? Okay. Hey. Okay. Good day, everyone. Selamat pagi.
สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Teen Talk Project Series 4 from Group A. According to the question, it is more sustainable for future economic growth if we are scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries. Here is the answer from Group A that we would like to share with you. I am Gigi Supida Homchakapan, represent from Prince of Songkhla University from Thailand.
I'm Lim Kian Ho. You can call me Joshua as well. I'm representing UUM from Malaysia.
Hai, selamat sejahtera, selamat pagi. I'm Christina Zarin from University Malaysia Perlis, UNIMAP. I'm representing from Malaysia.
Hi, I am Muhammad Ruli Effendi, and I am as a representative of Dallas University, Indonesia.
Pagi, I'm Suhailana Luna, and I'm representative from University Kuala, Indonesia. Hello, and I'm Nurdiana from Taksim University.
Okay, so next, okay, so our presentation is all about SGDA. So SGDA have different goals, which is sustainable development goals, and our presentation is all about the eight goals in this presentation. So under these goals, there are three target lists, which is to eliminate the poverty and create the sustainable economic growth, and then will be to promote the policies to support the job creation and growing enterprise. Lastly, will be to use the technology for diversification, innovation, and upgrading the economic productivity. Okay, next. So, decent work and economic growth, and this will be a title, and the outline for our group presentation will be from the background to the elaboration of the social entrepreneurship, and next we move to the prevention action from the social entrepreneurship, and then next we move to the government initiative, and lastly we come to the conclusion.
Okay, so you come back to me. Okay, hi everyone, have a nice day. So what is social entrepreneur? As everyone want to know, what is the meaning social entrepreneur? So as you guys can see in our slide, firstly is starting a business for the greatest social good and not just the pursuit of profit. It means anyone or anybody, maybe you or maybe myself, can do the social entrepreneurship. There are so many young teens nowadays have started their own business to help those in need, so they can change their life in better way. For example, right now during our COVID-19, there are so many young people doing their small business. Moreover, we want to produce environmentally friendly product, serve an undeserved community, or focus on philanthropic activities. So this is because the friendly product, we want to save the earth too. For example, indigenous people living in nature and surrounding is full of nature, but they manage to make profit by they make the items by the leaf or anything in the nature. So we can see here that anyone can be the social entrepreneur. So next. Okay, next is the figures of social entrepreneur between three countries. So as you can see, firstly, we have Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. So we go through to the Malaysia. There are 20,000 social entrepreneurs in Malaysia, which is 64% based in Klang Valley, Selangor. In Indonesia, they have more than 342,000 of social entrepreneurs. And lastly, in Thailand, we have around 300 social entrepreneurs. So as you guys can see, in Malaysia, as I'm a representative of Malaysia, we just take for the Klang Valley and Klang Valley Selangor and Kuala Lumpur is the most famous activity of social entrepreneur, which is the most active for Malaysia. So I just can conclude for my part that social entrepreneur can be done by anyone and anywhere as long as we know how to start, how to do it, and this is because we still have those people in it. So is it sustainable? Then you have to wait until our conclusion. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so next we'll talk more on the examples of the social entrepreneurs in the Malaysia, Indonesia, and Thailand. So first we go into the Malaysia. So there are two significant social entrepreneurs that I want to mention here, which is first is Teach for is a Gerai Orang Asli. So Teach for Malaysia is a social entrepreneur that grew up by around 200 fellows. They intend to help out the children in Malaysia that didn't have the chance to be educated. So they are mostly around, can't have the chance to be educated. Those children that didn't have the chance to be educated, to teach them the knowledge and to being educated, impacting more than 33,000 students in Malaysia in over 70 schools across 8 states in Malaysia. Next is
Okay, next we're moving to the example of social entrepreneur here in Indonesia. Because of Indonesia is the highest number of social entrepreneur compared to 3 other countries, Malaysia and Thailand. Here we took Duanyam as an example. It was founded in 2014. Basically, Duanyam is a social entrepreneur that embraces mothers and women in dozens of villages in East Nusa Tenggara to make weaving as an alternative that can increase their income apart from farming. They usually farming because they know there is weaving. And their goals are to empower women and promote culture and also improve maternal health. Since the beginning, Duanyam focuses on two things that now go hand in hand, namely in the social and the business aspects. For the social aspects, Duanyam has certainly succeeded in improving the welfare for mothers and women and weaver women who automatically meet their healthy food needs. Next, I will pass to my friend.
So next is for Thailand, Aka Ama coffee business is a good example. It is a fair trade coffee won international award also created to help Aka tribe's farmer. Started from Liayu Jupa, a villager from Aka tribe, the villager mostly are poor and uneducated farmers, grow the crop on the hill including the coffee. But the problem between the farmers and middlemen less the income. So Liayu Jupa, he helped the community by creating an organization. So he helped the communication like for create an organization for people can share the knowledge to develop coffee farm, improve the quality of the coffee, and sell directly from their village. As a result, he could raise the selling price and more revenue to the farmer, so his business improved the villagers' life quality. Moreover, Aka Ama pushed the standard of the local Thai coffee to world class. So he's not only just run the business, but also develop the community too. So next,
Okay, next slide. We're going to talk about the scaling up entrepreneurship in developing countries. So will poverty problem can be alleviated, and will economic growth goes in a sustainable trend? Next slide, please. So the schema is a simple way that how this poverty actually can be alleviated by social entrepreneurship. So we start from the poverty as the main problem maybe in some developing countries. So the poverty can caused by the unemployment. So as this unemployment can be caused by several factors like the low level of education, low quality of human resources, lack of job opportunities, and a skill mismatch. So the social entrepreneurs can take their part in solve those factors that can be cause the unemployment, like low level of education and so on. So they can take the part to establish a business, maybe the idea based on this kind of problem, social problem, or maybe they build business that can solve this problem. Because we have to cut this unemployment chains. If we just let this unemployment become bigger, higher and higher, it's going to increasing the high rate of poor people, and it will going to lead the country or the regions to the poverty. So there will going to be this evil cycle. So if we just let poverty become bigger in the long term, they're going to so the another social problem will happen, which is criminal case. Next slide, please. So like I said before, if the social entrepreneurship actually can create a business, so they're going to hire people. So those people who were become before they were unemployment, now they become employed, and during the process there will be reducing poverty through the job creation and provision of job, because they build a business, they establish a business, they will going to hire people, so they can take those people who are not work before, so they become working, and then their business mode, it could be the business which the idea comes from the social problems like I've mentioned before, and the business which going to help in solving the social problem. So in hope that it going to, I mean, the poverty rate, the rate of the poverty in the region or in a country will decrease. And how do we link it with the economic growth? So let's start by unemployment. They work and then they are employed. And if those people who were become unemployment, so right now they're working, so it's going to increasing the product that produced by the society. It means that the productivity in the country or in the region going to be increased. And if those people working, they're gonna get a salary or wages like every month. So before those people who were in employment, they cannot buy their daily needs, and now they have money because they work. They can also increase the consumption. So as we know, the economic growth, if we talk about the economic growth itself, we're going to talk about an increase of product that produced by the society and also increasing the consumption. So if those two factors are increased, in hope that they're going to increase the economic growth. So, but is it sustainable? Yeah, you have to wait the next explanation that going to be explained by my partner. Thank you.
So what policies to support job creation and growing enterprises? Next, please. Policy can help the social entrepreneur. So first, government incentives. So financially support to social entrepreneur and allocate fund for social entrepreneur in country budget. For example, in Thailand, Thai government has given billions of baht to social welfare holders. So the money would help them to live more comfortably and they will have more opportunity to expand their business again. So I think it's a very nice idea. And second, raise awareness. So spread and publicity through social media and urge the community to support disabled and indigenous people. All right, next I'll pass to Joshua.
Okay, so lastly, we come to the conclusion. So scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries, is it really sustainable? Yes, for sure it is sustainable in the future economic growth. Why? It's create the job creation that created by social entrepreneur to the disabled people and the indigenous people. The unemployment rate is being reduced and everyone is getting a job. We not really think about what kind of job they get, but from the statistic, it shows that the unemployment rate is getting down, and the GDP is getting up. And come to conclusion, so the job creation from the the job creation that created is lower the rate of unemployment, and more people will have the chance to be educated and get a better job. And the most important one is the rights of the disabled people and indigenous people is being taken care of. Lastly, so come to the end, we would like to thank our mentor, Dr. Fazri Arianto. Along the way, he lead us in our group presentation and give us a lot of great ideas along the discussion session with him. Okay, thanks a lot. Terima kasih.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Okay,
Group
that's
A.
all from Group A.
Right. Thank you, Group A, for an amazing presentation. We can see that there are examples like Du Anyam from Indonesia and Akaama that employ local farmer. And I think we could move to Group B. Okay. Please prepare Group B immediately. Okay, you can share your screen. Okay.
Hello guys, can everyone hear me?
Sip, I can hear you, Hema.
I guess you can let us know when we can start.
Okay, Hemi, you can start.
All right. Thank you so much, moderator. Hello, everyone, and great morning to all of you present here today. How are you guys? Have you had your breakfast? That's so nice. That's so good to hear. All right. So let us begin. This is Group B's presentation time, and the topic for today is scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries. Is it more sustainable for future economic growth? That's the question mark there. Haha. Let's dive in to find that out. So before we begin, allow me to introduce my team and myself. Next slide. If you see, we have Dalvina and Agia from Indonesia, and moving on to Malaysia, we have Muhammad Alif and me, myself, Heman Anthony. And finally, we have Kayani and Panuit from Thailand. Next slide. So this will be the content outline for today for our presentation. People talk about how to change the world a lot, but what does that look like in action? Well, social entrepreneurship is a great place to start if you are wondering how to make an impact. My dear audience, what social entrepreneurship mean though? Does anyone want to answer that in chat box? Right. All right, my friend Tao is here to give a short and brief explanation. Let's see what he have got to say. Next slide. We can see how Chao is figuring out his problems here. Isn't he smart? He's getting a lot of ideas in this. All right, so that's all about what is a social entrepreneurship be in short. All right, moving on. Let's see what's the situation be like in Malaysia's technology. Let's call upon Muhammad Halif to walk us through. Muhammad Halif.
All right, thanks, Hemi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning. I wish to everyone. I hope everyone can hear me. All right, so let's start with Malaysia. All right, today we have about 20,000 enterprises across this country, which covers a lot of sectors, which includes education, environment, sustainability, F&B, etc. So next slide, please. In Malaysia, our social enterprises are more focused in the peninsula of Malaysia, which Klang Valley has the biggest number of social enterprises and become Malaysia's central economic region. So next slide, please. Next, I will share with you guys what's actually our main issues when discussing about social entrepreneurship. All right, first, our entrepreneurs nowadays are lacking of knowledge. As we know, knowledge plays a significant role in management and also running a company. Second, low public awareness of this sector. From a survey by the British Council in 2018 shows that Malaysian entrepreneurs didn't get the best support from the locals and also companies, making them difficult to sustain financially and also to scale up. Last one, we find out that Malaysian market is not the best medium for new entrepreneur to scale up well. This is because Malaysian market are smaller than other Asian countries such as Indonesia and Philippines. Next slide, please. So I want to share with you guys something. In Malaysia, we have like dozens of superheroes, social entrepreneurs that help Malaysians in solving these issues, such as Kaki Seni, PT Foundation, and many more. But today I want to highlight a team which established in 2014 called Light Up 7. Okay, Light 7 is an integrated creative digital agency which specializes in brand strategy, digital marketing, and multimedia production. They helps in mentoring our entrepreneurs to sustain and ready towards the digital market. They also help them to approach and make networkings with great companies such as Petronas, Bank Negara Malaysia, and many more. So for further explanation, I pass to my friend Hemi. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ali. Let's move on to how to alleviate poverty and create sustainable economic growth in Malaysia. So what's actually going on in Malaysia? What are the causes? First of all, we are having the funding challenge. Most of them are young and not much have the knowledge where and how to collect funds and raise their financial stability. Following on, lack of manpower or no entrepreneurial background. People are rather willing to be stuck in a 9-to-5 job instead of going after their dreams. They think this is a competition, but actually it's a purposeful collaboration. And finally, fighting tough situations. All of us will feel this since COVID is a good example. Many of them are lack of access to education, resources like electricity and water. Next slide. And how are we going to overcome this? I have some ideas. First up, systematic management. We have to encourage a responsibility and transparency in our team. We also have to popularize sustainable business practice so that it could improve working conditions. Next, public awareness. We have to grow awareness around social issues in social media and create a culture that uses technology for good. And lastly, wider financial scope. There's a lot of government institutions are willing to support entrepreneurs. For example, the MAGIC, the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creating Center. The focus on exploring new markets, increasing on activity and provide financial support. Next slide. All right. Entrepreneurs are agile in changing the business model, but actually they are the change makers. Here are the role models to prove that. We have Kim Lim, co-founder of Pita Eats, and Juliana Adam, co-founder of Biji Initiatives. From fashion industry, she jumped to providing facials and scrub sets for frontliners. Let's get to know what is happening from Indonesia, from IDEA.
All right, thanks, Hemi. Now we're moving to Indonesia. What is currently happening in Indonesia? According to data from the Ministry of Communication and Information, internet users in Indonesia have reached 82 million people and placed 8th in the world. But in fact, Indonesia is currently experiencing the slowest economic growth in the last 5 years. But the growth of the e-commerce industry is actually getting faster in the midst of a slowdown in the country's economy. This condition shows that the e-commerce business has good economic value, so it must be utilized by business actors, especially micro, small, and medium enterprises. As you can see, next slide, please. As you can see in the slides, the graphic shows that labor productivity in Indonesia on 2020 is decreased at minus 1.84% compared to the previous year. Next slide. So we find the problems that detain us to become more productive. The first problem is many small business actors who haven't used the potential of e-commerce due to the lack of knowledge and lack of facilities. The second problem is lack of infrastructure. And the third problem is there is technology savvy in Indonesia is still low. Next slide, please. By these stances, we offer several solutions that we think could solve the problems. The first solution is the government principles in developing e-commerce through affirmative action. The second solution is for business actors should make a good administrative management. And the third solution is all of business traders must be proactive in learning new technologies. And lastly, to strengthening and empowering local products and local business. Next slide, please. Speaking of role models, here in Indonesia, we have Sayurbox, an e-commerce that inspires many people to help small business. Sayurbox itself is an e-commerce application that's selling agricultural products. Amanda Susanti Cole is the co-founder and CEO of Sayurbox. She invented this application to present digital technology based on mobile application. We're moving to the next presenter. Delphina, the time is yours.
All right, thank you, Aja. So I'm going to present you how is the poverty status in Indonesia. Next slide, please. So as you guys can see on screen, I share to you guys the chart of total percentage of people in poverty from the last decade, from 2010 to 2020. And we see that the chart is quite fluctuated and unstable, but there is a significant increasing number of people in poverty by the past 2 years, from 2019 to March 2020 and to September 2020. So next slide, please. So how is this happen? So we conclude the points where we should know what are the problems here. We conclude there are three parts. It's unemployment, lack of educations, and the third is pandemic of COVID-19. We see that these three things are connected to each other's. When the pandemic is hard, the economy grew very, very low because there is a constant changing activities that leads to destroy the business. And there are people who is facing the bankruptcy and making people unemployment. And also people got lack of education and they cannot sometimes they cannot even get employee. And then everything is collide due to the pandemic of COVID-19. Next slide, please. So what is the best solutions? So we find the alternative way, which is we want to make a separative environment on social entrepreneurship, because social entrepreneurship has their own main goals is to help each other in needs and put aside the goals of having going much profit or having much money. So, and then when people are now being supportive, we believe that we could gain much more people on raising awareness on helping each others. And these two solutions need to be checked by the government, by anyone, by any stakeholders, especially government, people, or community and organizations. Next slide, please. So coming to the role models, we see we giving you guys the role models is kitabisa.com. So kitabisa.com is a platform for online crowdfunding on fundraising in Indonesia. Was established in 2013, which is this platform is used for helping people with financial issue due to their healthcare, financial need, natural disaster victims, study, paying zakat, and any other helping transaction. So that's all from Indonesia. We're going to our team from Thailand. Gigi, time is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Delvina. Thailand is confronted by the third wave of COVID-19 outbreak. Moreover, the impact of social and economic is worsened vulnerable population that are already unstable, especially for people to become even more oppressive. During COVID-19 outbreak from a recent year, the effect of the situation has been 1.5 million. That fell into poverty. The number of poor people between 2020 and 2021 is 5.8 million. This is up from 4.3 million in 2019. Okay, next slide, please. All right. In the last year, Thailand was ranked 78 out of 180 countries in the EPI Environmental Performance Index. And there are still many pollution problems that need to be addressed, such as air pollution, wet dispersal, ground level ozone pollution, or the pollutant affect the environment and local communities, as well as the product and good of the effect entrepreneur. Okay, next, let me role model by Mr. Guy.
All right. A role model who is taking part to solve this problem is Ms. Samriddhi Chaimongkol, the CEO of Banpu Public Company Limited, that invests on power and energy resources. According to the company website, there is a message from her as a CEO. It shows that a strategy called greener and smarter that she mainly focused. From that, the company has a sustainable development policy. We pick two of those policies to present you on the screen. First, the environment. The company wants to balance the business development along with environmental protection. So that means they respond to the technology that they use to prevent the environmental impact. The second one is community. They support local community by employing locals to their business in order to create a sustainable growth, and also provide all the program that stakeholders accept. But I will pass to the Hemi.
Thank you, Guy. All right, let me conclude. Scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries, it's more sustainable for future economic growth. Social entrepreneurship is no different in its capacity to carry on redefining, reimagining, disrupting, and shifting. First point, it increases the rate of employment, and also that brings down the risk of unemployment for the fresh graduates and disabled people. By this, they have an opportunity to expand their impact into multiple streams and create massive social values. Next slide, please. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone for listening to our presentation. Next slide. We would like to acknowledge Dr. Delvia Tanjungsari for being our wonderful mentor, and audience for being a wonderful listener, and our friends and relatives for helping us out. Thank you.
thank you, Group B, for an amazing presentation and spotlight for each countries and the example. And also it mentioned that how technology promote and foster the social entrepreneurship for each country. So now we will have a break for 10 minutes. And while we have a break, we will play a video about Universitas Andalas. And we hope you enjoy it. So we could start the break for 10 minutes, start from now.
Andalas University is located in Padang City, which is the capital city of West Sumatra, endowed with a beautiful geographical area and religious community. Students are involved in character building, reflected in a variety of relevant activities, engaging faculty members and communities. The university's unique academic structure also promotes interdisciplinary collaboration and allows the faculties to teach across related disciplines. To support equal access to higher education, Andalas University provides various scholarship schemes.
الصلاة
studies, students are involved in character building, reflected in a variety of relevant activities, engaging faculty members and communities. Summed up in the acronym SEJATI, which means patient, empathetic, honest, fair, responsible, and sincere. Interdisciplinary knowledge, in consultation with key industry experts, enables the faculties to develop programs that will better prepare students for working in industry. It has resulted in close industry links being built through strategic alliances with trade associations and key industry partners. Here the student is not only the dreamer, but also the doer who is proud of making things happen. Andalas University is committed to realizing its vision of becoming a leader in innovative university education by integrating learning, industry, and community. University always encourages lecturers to create innovations based on science and technology, which are then delivered to the community through research institutions and community service. Andalas University applies continuous quality improvement, improving internal quality through conducting internal quality audits, and designing a curriculum that meets the needs of stakeholders, that is, the world of work and industry. In an effort to produce graduates who are highly competitive, Andalas University also prioritizes entrepreneurship education for students. In an effort to be an international campus, Andalas University is preparing to become a state university. Various efforts to this end continue to be conducted. Students are given the opportunity to realize the issues faced by their communities. We encourage our students to help and serve others by offering them opportunities to go out and match their skills and abilities to the needs out there. We are proud to have created the university that we have today. All of these things increasingly encourage Andalas University to continuously develop itself to provide high-quality education for the glory of the nation.
Okay, that was our video profile of Universitas Andalas. We hope you enjoy it. And when the COVID-19 erased, you can join us here to meet directly with the students. And we continue with the group C. I hope you are prepared, okay? Okay, I can see 5 members here. Okay. Please rename your name. Group C. Right. There are 5 of you, okay, all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may start 15 minutes from now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Good morning, everybody. I know we're getting close to the afternoon, but I do hope you still have the morning spirit. To the respected universities involved, to the hardworking committee that makes this become possible, and to all of our beloved peers who join in this event, and also to our beloved audience. How are you doing? We would love to know how are you all. Please write in the chat box. Knowing that you're all doing okay makes us becoming even more excited to present our presentation. Now in this event, we from Teen Talk Group C, talking about scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries. Is it more sustainable for future economic growth? This is our presentation. Please, next. Now, before we start, I would like to introduce the member of the team, starting from myself. My name is Muhammad Arif Faradino from Andalas University, and I'm going to be the moderator of this presentation. Next, we have Kor Kayong from UNIMAP, who is also doing the screen sharing. Thank you, Yong. We also have Komsan Limpamas from TSU, Pawinit Tongjin-sang from PSU, and Kirtiga Nair from WM. Next. This is going to be our presentation outline, starting from the introduction, definition of social entrepreneurship, and all the way to the acknowledgement. Next. All right, talking about social entrepreneurship. This is the brief definition in which comes out after a long hours discussion. We came up with the definition of the social entrepreneurship focuses mainly to address and fulfill social needs. It is a wide concept that aims to create social values that cause lasting social changes and solve social problems. So it is still business. Although it looks for profit, it looks for the kind of profit that also gives social changes the benefits towards the society. It underlines under 3 characteristics. First, have a clearly stated social or environmental goal, allocate a significant amount of resources towards that goal, and be financially sound. Now, before we continue, I would like to hear from you, the audience. How do you think the social entrepreneurship is going to impact the economy in the future? We're going to have a lot of time, and we are going to read it. We would love to hear more from you. And the next slide is going to be delivered by my partner, Pawini.
Okay, for general background of social enterprise in each country. Okay, let's first in Indonesia. From Indonesia, economic development master plan MP3 in the human resource development section of the Indonesian government with a vision on explaining economic activities and want to increase with a vision on explaining economic and the value of product through technology development and skill support to explain the industrial sector and adopt new standardized process to adapt toward human resource development is therefore considered to be the one important and strategy for the country development on the Indonesian government with awareness and important to develop people who an education a level that can support the economic and social development on the nation to achieve goals. Okay, and in Malaysia, social enterprise accreditation, this is a new nation certification that provides social enterprise with recognized and means to communicate and commitment on social and environmental impact. This is collaborative effort between MET and Malaysian global innovation and creative center. Yeah, and the same gains totally 10 million on a pensioner initiative for introduced to support social enterprise and social innovation in Malaysia. For every engaged earned through confederation, same gain will match that amount. Yeah, and lastly, in ties, according to the Social Enterprise Promotion Act 2019, social enterprise are just engaged person under 10 laws who are registered with the Office on Social Enterprise Promotions. Social enterprise in Thailand are often young, and the number are growing. Over half of social enterprise were established between 2008 2017. Active governments policy promotes social enterprise, coupled with the growing ecosystem and more intermediately offering support to starting and growing social enterprise that the startup phase have earned accelerate in recent years. Okay, let's turn to the next.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, continue with me. Okay, our focus first to alleviate poverty and create sustainable economic growth. Second, to promote policy to support job creation and growing enterprises. Okay, let's take a look at the exciting example. First, the first example is Doikam from Thailand. Doikam was found under His Majesty King Bhumibol Adulyadej's vision to eliminate poverty and enhance the quality of life of people living in the mountain in northern Thailand. Next slide, please. They continue to follow the king's initiative and aiming to improve the well-being of Thai farmers toward the idea of self-reliant and sustainable farming. The factory were built near the farm to support and buy products from the local without middlemen. Doikam distinctive direct force. The first is profit optimization. Doikam, they ensure that the gain of profit of a consumer will provide for the further improvement of the life of Thai people and the country's development. Second, Doikam keep moving forward. The factories always search for the development through extensive agriculture method to cultivation technique to continuously create premium product. Next, Doikam fair to all. Doikam keeps to promise of a fair test to all party and commit to deliver to nutritious product to consumer with a fair price. The last one, Doikam is proud to be a giver. They also focus to giving support to encourage Thai farmer and a rural community to have the sustainable living with sufficiency. Living with a sufficiency economy while improving their living standard well, and they provide and encourage farmers for their agriculture extension, boost 40% growth of product. And next for yellow, okay.
Yeah. So very good morning to everyone. So it's gonna be afternoon soon. So another existing example that I would like to explain about is Yellow House. So Yellow House is basically a project which conducts social enterprises as one of their programs, and it is located at Kuala Lumpur. So where the capital of Malaysia is. So as you all can see in the slide, Yellow House mainly serves its purpose to mainly two type of community. Number one is street people, or which is known as homeless, and the second one is refugees. Next slide, please. Okay, so the name of projects is over here. It's all of these names are social enterprises being run by the Yellow House. And let me focus on the street people first. So the firstly we can see that the first job initiative. So this is a community. This is similar to the Community Connect. Both of these projects are being run by Yellow House, where its role is mainly employing business, which is focused towards employing homeless people doing work such as woodworking, plumbing, deep cleaning, and etc. So the main project of Yellow House is Unseen Tours Kuala Lumpur, where the main it is an initiative on organizing perspective tours led by formerly homeless people and marginalized communities. So we are very aware that how homeless people and marginalized communities are very vulnerable, and they are prone to be affected to many social issues such as poverty, health issues, and so on. So this Unseen Tours provides a sustainable living and employment opportunity for these individuals for them to achieve a better quality of lives. So it is also well-known fact that street people have the best knowledge than a common bypasser because they've been living there for a very long time. So the Yellow House is designed in that way, that such way that our the homeless people will be tour guides, and it would attract the attention from foreigners or people who would like to visit the city, and they'll be experience a whole new perspective and new sides of Kuala Lumpur. The special part about Yellow House is 60% of the revenue goes back to the guide, meanwhile 40% is retained by the organization to sustain. So by this we can clearly see how this is social enterprise, and how does this is not focused towards business only, and it helps to uplift the livelihood of the people around there. Now the other projects such as Mentu Dumpling Project, Poncho Blouse House Project, and all these projects are listed under the name of under the refugees are projects being run to teach these refugees community to skills such as sewing and marketing for them to sustain on their own. So this is also named business because social enterprise, because it just does not focus on getting profit alone. Meanwhile, it is helping a particular community. So we also know that this increased employee earnings lead to a higher consumer spending, and the higher consumer spending is a largest impact in GDP of a nation. So when the consumer spending increase, the consumer demand increase, therefore the economy of a nation increases as well. So to summarize, basically this kind of social enterprise definitely helps us to alleviate poverty with real wages that they got from real jobs, and it also improves the economy of a nation. Thank you. Moving on to
All right. The next one is the example from Indonesia. So in Indonesia, there's a company called Indonesia Medica. It's a health company providing health services by charging waste or garbage for payment fees. This business model has helped a lot of people, especially the underprivileged one, to get health access without having to pay a lot of money. But at the same time, it is also helping their environment, because in order to get the health services, they have to clean up their environment first. And that is by taking those garbages and those waste. And even though it's only paying like such a very cheap price, like just garbage, it doesn't mean that they're getting a cheap health services, because the CEO made sure that the quality of health services that they're receiving is at the good standard. Next. This company is founded by Brawijaya University graduate in medical studies. His name is Mr. Gamal Albin Said. His work had gained international recognition in Indonesia Medica. It has received multiple international awards, including from the mega company Unilever, and an invitation for Mr. Gamal Albin Said to Buckingham Palace in United Kingdom. Continue. Yes, next. Yeah.
Okay. How important is to scale up social entrepreneurship for economic growth in developing countries? So social entrepreneurship can be said as a method to improve the lives of the poor because it provides many sustainable ways to create social impact and solve economic issues. They create employment opportunities, which addressing unemployment directly or indirectly through environment protection, food security, health and social well-being, community livelihood, and heritage preservation. They also improve a particular community by promote education and literacy. Social enterprise are the key in poverty eradication programs as they support and provide vulnerable and marginalized communities, especially women and youth, with the skills and experience to transition into micro business. Furthermore, social enterprise plays important role in equitable society, pursuing green growth for sustainability, accelerating human capital development, and improving well-being. The beneficiaries include those in rural communities, refugees, and disabled people who struggle with limited opportunities for economic independence. Social enterprise strive to upskill these sections of society to improve their chance of earning a living. Then you may ask, is it more sustainable for future economic growth? I will say it is potential. Why I say like this? Because current development of social entrepreneurship stays at the initial stage. Social entrepreneurs found it hard to even discuss it with people because the minute they bring up making money, people look at them like being opportunistic, up to no good. There is a common perception that doing good should come with a volunteer mindset with no money being involved. People that's not aware about social enterprise. They are more familiar with the non-profit structure and charities where you don't monetize or try to sell products to do good. Many didn't heard the term before and see it as unnecessary labor. Furthermore, lack of legal definition, national accreditation, and registration structure is a challenge in developing social enterprise. The current impact is low because social enterprise are not yet fully developed and struggle, but in future, when the future leader know more about the social entrepreneurship skills and spirit through education, such as this forum, and the system is more stable, it may bring bigger impact towards the economy. It becomes more sustainable when people familiar with the concept of doing social entrepreneurship and the knowledge, understanding, and awareness are widespread. The recognition of social enterprise as a business entity will increase when more focused and responsive policies and strategies formulate and implement in developing social enterprise, such as integrated social entrepreneurship ecosystem and conducive financing ecosystem. So research, analysis, and training are needed to let it sustain for future economic growth. In a nutshell, the social enterprise sector is growing. It may help in economics of some countries, but it more depends on the condition and situation of each country in developing social enterprise. Thank you.
So that is a wrap of our presentation, and we would like to give our acknowledgements to our mentor, Dr. Muhammad Fani Al-Farisi, for assisting us during the whole discussion. It was a very great time. Thank you, Mr. Fani, and also to our respective audience for being here. And also to the international offices of universities for connecting us, and also to the members of Teen Talk Group C for your hard work and for your times that you spent in terms of making this material and making time to make this presentation. And lastly, before I end this presentation, I would like to apologize for any mistakes that we accidentally make, and thank you.
Thank you, Group C, for sharing the idea how to give an impact to the society via social entrepreneurship. And we will move to Group D. For those who want to ask questions, please hold on. You can type it on the chat box or you can raise hand, but we will have a special session for this. Okay, Group D, get ready, please spotlight. Okay, all right. Right, yep.
Yep, okay, so.
Yeah, you may start now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Star Wars place. Before we start, please allow me to present scaling up social entrepreneurship in developing countries. Is it more sustainable for future economic growth? Under the target number 8, decent work and economic growth, presented by Group D. Next slide. The mission, the beginning of mission, you have to complete the mission first, and we will permit you to see our protagonists. The beginning of mission to know about SDG number 8 goals. The importance of social entrepreneurship. Next, mission 1 followed by mission 2, and to see the protagonist. The last final mission is the end game concluded by analyze SWOT. This is our teammate, Najwa from UNIMAP, Ahmad from USK, Folk from PSU, Wilda from UNAN, Divya from UUM, also as I am, Fatiha from TSU. The beginning of mission, we will let you know about the SDG number 8. Promote sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. This goal is reducing the number of unemployment. Moreover, it can develop resource efficiency and ensure economic growth does not lead to environmental degradation and sustainability. Next slide, please. Why social entrepreneurship is so important? It is a crucial thing from the country because it provides a framework for business to find their own success in the pursuit of helping others. It contains of motivation for employees, especially for Generation Y, which is increasingly skeptical about the traditional corporate work environment. As we all know, we need social entrepreneurs to help us find new avenues towards social improvement. Also, business should aim to generate profit and help society. That's why social entrepreneurs are one special breed of leaders, and they should be recognized as such. You have to complete the mission 1. Please.
Thanks, It is from Thailand. The current population of Thai people, there is a large number of unemployed people in the case of unemployment and dismissal. According to an analysis of the Standard.com website, the percentage are 6.08% and 23.93% for August 2020. With poverty alleviation and unemployment by creating projects to support the unemployment problem, to have a stable income to live and reach the economy to grow again. The COVID-19 pandemic affects the economy in Thailand. It makes people whose income is not enough and more the crisis occurs. Entrepreneurship is needed to create jobs for people in trouble to generate income from during this crisis. Thanks. Next video, please.
Okay, so here in Indonesia, the data displayed by the Statistical Center Agency of Indonesia in 2018, we all know that the number of small medium enterprises is around 64.19% million, and it contributes to GDP around 8,000 million rupiah, while the number of social entrepreneurship of that is around 340,000, and it contributes to GDP just around 1.9%. So it means that its existence and its contribution to GDP in Indonesia is still low compared to the regular one. So according to the survey by the UNESCO, there are top 3 sectors of social entrepreneurship in Indonesia in 2018. With the highest rate is by creative industries, it's around 20%, and followed by the agriculture and fisheries around 16%, and education 15%. The fact in 2018, there are 66 people and organizations have moved to social entrepreneurship in Indonesia. So it fits with what the government has targeted in the RPJMN, the Term Development Plan in 2020 to 2024, developed by Ministry of National Development Planning or BAPENAS, that targets that GDP is around 5,900 to 5,600 to 5,900 US dollar in 2024, and above 6,800 US dollar in 2025, while the unemployment in 5 to 7% in 2024, which by the increasing the number of social entrepreneurship, it can help the government of Indonesia to pursue the targets above. And in RPJM and RPGMN have strategy for that that call the development of social enterprises by utilizing social capital for the next 5 years in order to handle social economic problem of this country. Next, Divya from Malaysia.
Thank you, Wilda. Hi, everyone. As for Malaysia, one of the ways poverty can be overcome is the implementation of the Community Development Program. So the Malaysian government introduced one social entrepreneurship program, which is called One Azam. It also short form and stand for End Time of the Poor. The launch of this social entrepreneurship was placed under the Ministry of Agriculture and Agro-Industry to manage it. There are 4 social entrepreneurship programs under this One Azam, such as Azam Tani, which stands for agriculture, Azam Kerja, it means works, Azam Khidmat, and Azam Niaga Enterprise. This all program was introduced to alleviate the poverty and reduce the hardcore poverty level in Malaysia by providing entrepreneurship skills to the poor citizens. This social entrepreneurship program has trained and developed more than 4,300 social entrepreneurs. For example, based on a report published by the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development, more than 80,579 people in the Azam Tani Social Entrepreneurship Program showed its effectiveness as a strategy effort by the government to eradicate poverty in 2014. If we see the left side of the slide, the pie chart shows more than 54% of the participants has moved out from the poverty level, while 35% progressing very well and 8% moved slowly from it. Moreover, majority of the participants earn additional income of between 500 ringgit and 1,000 a month. About 25% of the participants increase their income less than 300 ringgit. It shows that there is an economic growth here. So, scaling up One Azam social entrepreneurship program in Malaysia, is it more sustainable for future economic growth? Okay, let's wait for the answer. Moving to the next mission, Fog, please.
Completed mission 1. Next mission 2, to promote policy to support job creation and growth enterprise. This is from Thailand. The Chura Atta project is a collaboration between the Property Management Office, Chulalongkorn University, Urai Panish Company Limited, a press that help develop the Suan Ruang Samyan area, Siam Square and Rideau Connect. This project have helped develop society, create jobs, and generate millions of baht per year in income for the community from recycling waste from the community. Let it create art and create work of art on the wall as street art. For example, number 1, training to be a tour guide for unemployed people. Number 2, to establish a classroom to hear children with Down syndrome using Braille. Finally, the inspiration for this project came from street art in Penang of Dr. Sirithorn Sicharakom. She is a leader of this project from Chulalongkorn University. And there are the one protagonist in Thailand in Mr. Big Palin Langsimanon. He is a businessman of Paris producer. He invite friends to organize Carnation Company that distribute a paper which resources used are community people. In addition, Carnation received a Zero Carbon Award 2021 runner-up with a partner, Thai Post Health Free Delivery within Bangkok. The profits after the sale is donated to the foundation. Buyer can also choose to donate to the organization after purchase. It is sustainable and transparent. Mr. Big has a great idea from the helping society. Not getting praise is okay, but what I got back was pride. We see that there are many poor people who are suffering in the country. If we wait for the government, it doesn't get anything if everything starts from us. Thanks. Next, Ahmad, please.
Okay, next to from Indonesia. From Indonesia, there is a two project from. I just want to explain two project from two cities. It's from Makassar and from Surabaya. But there are so many cities who have policies to support job creation and growth enterprises. So the mayor of Makassar built and renovated streets and has upgraded 5,800 new alleyways. So why did he build and renovate the street? So because he observed that better living condition in the city will foster your entrepreneurship. So it will growing entrepreneurship in his location. And from in Surabaya, there is two best program from the mayor of Surabaya. The first is the Young Fighters, or in Indonesian we can call Pejuang Muda Surabaya program. Is an empowerment program intended for young people who have the potential and desire to innovate to build a business. So the second is the Economic Hero program, or we Indonesian people say Pejuang Economy program, is a program for empowering women, especially housewives from poor families who are given the opportunity to develop micro, small, and medium enterprises. Next slide. Okay. So for the from Indonesia, there is a best people as a role model or the protagonist of Indonesia. She is Siti Haria from the Sendiros district local people familiarly call her Maya, managed to make taro chip with a high taste in her taro warehouse called Paguyuban Kampung Tales Sang Ratu, and succeeded to empower Bote Talas Semeru farmer to overcome unemployment problem. So thanks to her hard work from year 200 until now, her turnover has reached billion of rupiah. Even she is a social entrepreneur. Her business is included in the big scale for social entrepreneurship because she is able to overcome environmental issues and unemployment and even development his business to have high profit. Okay, next to Najwa from Malaysia.
Thank you, Ahmad. So in 2015, the Malaysian government implemented policies such as the Malaysian Global Innovation and Creativity Center. It can also be known as MAGIC. MAGIC has offered its community of startups, investors, and ecosystem participants with market and funding opportunities, as well as regulatory support, affecting over 100,000 aspiring and seasoned entrepreneurs. In 2017, there was a halt in the development of social enterprises, which linked with MAGIC realignment process. But starting in 2018, MAGIC has reintroduced several of its dedicated social entrepreneurship programs. Tanuti, for example, is one of MAGIC's 22 accredited social enterprises. Tanuti is an artisan community dedicated to the preservation of traditional craft in Sarawak, Malaysia, the empowerment of women, and the development of rural communities there. And its SDGs include decent work and economic development. As you can see on the right side of the slide, this is the number of social enterprises established across time with the help of MAGIC. Next, to the protagonists of Malaysia. For Malaysia, we have Mrs. Su Xiaoyin. She founded Simply Cookies in 2014 to provide single mothers with a job opportunity to bake. And she also taught cooking workshop to youngsters. Su also founded Junior NutriChef JNC, a social company to help youngsters have a better life. So as you can see over here, this is all the proof of her contribution to the society and community. Next, we move forward to the end game presented by Fatiha.
The conclusion and game SWOT analysis. Strength, the increasing the number of social entrepreneurship is in each country. Business scale of social entrepreneurship increases. Weakness, the mindset of the people of social entrepreneurship cannot generate the profit. Also, opportunities, the government in each country has programmed to support social entrepreneurship. The budget was sufficient to support. Also, threats, the economic growth of each country is getting slower due to the pandemic COVID-19. Next slide. Social entrepreneurship can create jobs and productivity rise up, build the household income, increasing household consumption, sustain economic growth, and also can job opportunity reduce rate of employment, hiring the employees, and also solve the problem. Do you think social entrepreneurship is important for you? The answer is yes. To acknowledge, thank you for all kindness of mentor to give good suggestion. The Mrs. Dian Rani Yolanda as a mentor. Thank you for all attention. We are looking forward to your questions later. Thank you. Yes, done.
Right. Thank you for Group D for creative presentation. We hope that like Star Wars, we can bear the mission from social entrepreneurship to give a positive impact to our society. Right. We will have an interim break for a few minutes. And also we will have a social media competition. And this is a special event in our occasion right now, social media competition, that you will be encouraged to create a story or post about the insight that you get from this event. The deadline is today in the midnight, and you can post it on Instagram or Facebook. And don't forget to mention and follow the Instagram of International Office Unan, CIE UNIMEP, CIACWM, OIA USK. And for the users of Facebook, you can mention and follow Unan Official or International Office Universitas Andalas, International Relations Office Taksin University, PSU International Affairs Office. There will be one winner for each campus. So the winner will be published in each for each campus in 3 days ahead. And of course, there will be some prizes for the winners from each international office. Okay, you can create a story, a creative story about the insight that you got from this event. And for question and answers, you can chat on the chat box and raise hand. We will have a break for a few minutes and we will watch the video of West Sumatra. Okay.
West Sumatra, famous for its ancient history, echoing through its canyons. Wonderful contours formed by the tectonic slabs, with fertile volcanic land crossed by the grandeur of Bukit Barisan. Ageless natural beauty is felt every step we walk and every sight we see, leaving behind countless tales of myths, hard to be neglected. Catch the beauty of Lake Maninjau. Wonderful landscape is witnessed when we fly over the top of Lawang Hill. Priceless high elevated adventure. Pedaling together around Singkarak Lake. Experience the phenomenon of walking on the living bridge, while the waterfall refreshes the travelers. Evolving with time, without letting go of the inscribed history. villagers keeping their joyous traditions. Pacujawi, which means cow race. The elegance of martial art. Silat. Visiting the Pagariun Palace. Acknowledge the culture history of Minangkabau. The enchanting plate dance will greet guests, exposing their striking physical and vulnerability. Taste the various traditional culinary of West Sumatra. Padang main dishes uniquely served to your table, well known for their savory and spicy flavors. While cakes and beverages are exceptional. The spicy balado cassava chips. And of course, the legendary delicious satay padang. Delight in the beauty of silver crafts in an elegant ivory nuance. Try on the rich, colorful sun-kit fabrics and carefully attempt to knit in this house of weaving. A new experience you can bring home. Take steps through a history. From Japan's bunker to the biggest coal mining in its era. Encounter the splendor of West Sumatra and merge into its glorious beauty. Where the power of history flawlessly intertwined with the wonders of nature. Wonderful Indonesia.
We hope you enjoy our West Sumatra video profile. And now we continue with question and answer to each group. For those who want to ask a question, you can post on chat box or you can raise hand so we can unmute you. Right, let's see. One. Question for each group are very welcome. Actually, I see question at previous. Okay. Okay, I see a question. A clap on a textbook. Is that a question from Charana Atir? Maybe you can raise hand instead of post a clap. Supakol. Right, we got one raised hand here. Okay. Okay. Okay, please post your question on the chat box. For the one who want to ask directly, you can raise hand. Okay, we got one raise hand. Please host unmute the one who raised hand. I assume that the one who posts clap will wanna to ask a question. Okay, questions are very welcome for presenters. I see. I got a direct message here. Okay. Question for group B here. Ready, group B?
Yes.
Okay, I get a direct message to me that I want to ask about the difference between CSR and social entrepreneurship in each countries. Maybe you can explain from your exploration. So group B, time is yours.
To answer this question. Thank you so much, Fazalina, for this question to Group B. So I think that if we want to get to know about the difference or collaboration between the stakeholders and also project, we have to identify the basic elements here. Basic elements like purpose and objectives, and then timeline, and also resource constraints. When I say purpose and objectives, it should be about what are the overall goals for creating this project in the first place. And when you go to timeline, time limitation will greatly affect the process. And a brilliant idea without adequate time to execute, it won't do you any good. Just like the presentation, we have to finish in 15 minutes and it have to be below 15 minutes. So we have to have a basic timeline in mind before initiating the creative process. And lastly, when I talk about resource constraint, it is about just like the time, resource limitations will influence what ideas you can track and work with it. Know what these are before you get started so that it is easier for you to go on the flow. And these are what I meant by identify the basic element when you want to collaborate into your project. I hope that answered you. Thank you.
Right, hope that answered the question. And also, wait, for Group B, there's still one more question from Nur Fazalina. How do you accelerate your development by collaborating with other stakeholders of society? On the chat box, we got a question from Nur Fazalina. Hi, Salam. This question is to Group B. How do you accelerate your development by collaborating with other stakeholders of society?
Assalamualaikum. Can I answer this question?
Yes, please.
Hi, I'm Muhammad Ali Fimi Muhammad Ali from University Malaysia Police. All right, so the question is, how do we accelerate the development, if I'm not mistaken? All right, so as we know, what I give you guys, what I share with you guys, which is the Light Up 7. What do Light Up 7 did to our Malaysians? So they connect the entrepreneurs with great companies such as Bank Negara Malaysia, Petronas, and many more. As we know that the great companies have a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of masters in or experts. So they can share or they can give the experience, they can share what they know with the new entrepreneurs which just started their business or their company. So that this will accelerate their development so that they can sustain more, they can have a great scale up in their company or in their business so that they can survive very well in the market in the future. So I hope that answered the question. Thank you.
Thank you for the answer. Right, next question from Rennie to Group A. Okay, get ready, Group A. Yeah. What is the contribution of your governments to scaling up social entrepreneurship for each countries? It's for Group A. Okay, we are waiting for you.
Hi, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, what is the contribution or policy that the government enacts to foster or scaling up the social entrepreneurship in your country? Maybe you can give an example for each countries: Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. Question from Rennie.
Okay, so I'm on behalf of the question. I'm from Group A. So, yeah. So for the policies that the government given, what we know that in Thailand, the Thai government did give the financial support to the social entrepreneur, where in the annual report of the government, they did come out with a cost that will provide for the social entrepreneur. Yes. So for this, we will suggest that there's better solution, which is on the incentive part, which is on the tax and on the tax part and on the tariff part. Why? Is because every business, they need to purchase things and they need to register under the government. So all these things, they will come with a tax. But if the government can provide a tax deduction on the services, then will be better avoid 100%, because social entrepreneur is a business that help out the community and is not a profit based. Therefore, and also in term like the publicity, the policy, government do have an initiative to promote this, because government not 100% help out can't 100% cover up the community. So they need the social worker, social entrepreneur to help out the community as well. Therefore, they need to promote up and encourage the young youth or the businessmen to involve in the social and the social entrepreneurship work. Yeah. That's all from Group A.
Right, thank you for the answer. Next question for Group D, right, from Aya. Yeah. How do you manage or balance between profit and social impact in social entrepreneurship? Okay, to Group D, how do you manage or balance? Okay.
Okay.
You get the idea of the question, right?
Wait a moment.
For those who want to ask question, you can chat me privately or post on the chat box, or you can raise hand to ask directly to the presenters. Okay, questions are welcome.
Yes, I will answer. I think the profit we can balance to sustain the business, something like that. Yes, that's it.
Right, a simple answer from Group D, and we got one more question for each group from PSU Sujin Ton. This question is for all groups. Should the state support the development of entrepreneurship and innovation? And I think we should start with Group C and then A, B, D, right? To Group C, time is yours.
Sir, can you repeat
I'm
again
sorry,
the
sir.
question?
All right, question from PSU Sujin Ton. Hi, this question is for all groups, but I suppose that maybe we can start from Group C, right? Should the state support the development of entrepreneurship and innovation? Right? Maybe you can give a reason or a little bit elaboration. Right, to Group C, time is yours.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I kind of misheard. Like, should what, sir? May you repeat the question again? I'm sorry. This takes
Right.
me 3 times.
Should
to
the
repeat
state,
question.
should the
The
state, yeah, or the government or the official support the development of entrepreneurship and innovation? Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to answer it from the Group C. The social entrepreneurship and innovation. We from the Group C, after the discussion and after the conclusion that we had from the discussion while gathering the materials, we believe that the state should definitely support the social entrepreneurship. In Indonesia itself, I was doing the research about social entrepreneurship in Indonesia. It was mentioned by the government of how important it is that we have the business model that helps our society in terms of social and environmental. We even have like the existing examples, like there's a lot of it. The ones who deal with health problems, for example, like Indonesia, America, like in our presentation, we also found a company that focuses on allocating waste, so it's not going to so it's not like scrambling up in one places and destroy the environment. But unfortunately, for Indonesia itself, the social entrepreneurship is not clearly regulated. Like as far as I know in my research, I have not found a single policy that strictly regulates about social entrepreneurship, and this is the information that I got from the British Council. I think personally, for in Indonesia itself, it's going to be very beneficial, and I think it's even more critical for Indonesia to not only just regulate the social entrepreneurship, so it has a better administration system, so people who want to make the social enterprises will have a much easier way in terms of getting fundings and also getting permission to conduct their business. But at the same time, I think the kind of contribution that government, the kind of supports that government can give can also be like, creating a lot of programs that maintains the social enterprises, because this kind of business, the social enterprise, although for some of them do look for profits, the social enterprise also do solve social problems, especially as we are in the middle of pandemic right now. Things are getting hard. We are going digital, but unfortunately not everybody can go digital because our education is still not distributed equally in all places, and how the access to few things like clean water and those sort of things are not distributed equally. I think these social enterprises are the answer to those social problems, and I believe this is the same case in Thailand and in Malaysia itself. For example, like in Malaysia, I think Malaysia has demonstrated a very good action that their government is supporting their social enterprises by making those businesses becoming certified and also giving them a lot of fundings. I believe if not only these three countries, if every developing countries do the same and even doing more than what they're doing right now, not only that this is going to profit the people who are having the companies, or the so-called capitalists, but at the same time, the people who enjoy their products can also get the benefits, and it will solve a lot of problems. Thank you.
Right, great. From Group C. Let's move to Group A with the same question. Should the state support the development of entrepreneurship?
Okay, I'm from Group A and we'll try to answer this question. Our question is, yes, the state should support the developing entrepreneurs, because right now, until now, in Indonesia, there is no special law that's supporting social entrepreneurship, which social entrepreneurship is treated just the same as the commercial business. And whereas the social entrepreneurship can solve the problems that even the Ministry of Social Affairs cannot solve. So, but they still got the same treat like tax and something. So we think that yes, the government should support the social entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Group A. Let's move to Group B.
Okay, so I think the government should support the development of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is important for some number of reasons, like from promoting social change to driving innovation. And if a country wants to be a developed country, like in my country is still developing country, so if we want to make a change, so we started from the economic productivity, which is the entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurs are frequently thought of as national assets to be cultivated, motivated, and remunerated to the greatest possible extent. In fact, some of the most developed nations, such as the United States, are world leaders due to their forward-thinking innovation, research, and entrepreneurial individuals. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Group B. And for the last group, Group D, we invite you to answer the question. Time is yours. Yeah.
I'm trying to answer. Okay, I think the government should promote the social entrepreneurship. So for example, they can promote agriculture to demand and create innovation to help them expand the product to worldwide. For example, in Thailand, the state produced the application that can put the product sale in the app. The name of app is Folk Rice. They can follow about how the rice can expand to the worldwide, and then you can sell in the app, and then you can buy in the app too. Thank you.
Right, thank you for group D. Yeah, that's the last question and the last session for presentation groups. Now we will have a vote. Which group is the best group and which one is your favorite? I will share screen here. Okay. We start from 0. Okay. And I will post the Google form on the box, on the chat box. You can vote for your favorite group. Okay. Right. Posted. Click the link and vote for the best group or your favorite group. Wow. 2 responses. Yeah. Okay, should we put the music on it? Let's try. Okay, group B leading here. Responses, yeah. Group A and B. Come on, share to your friends the link. Oh, let's begin. Admit. Yeah, come on, promote your group on the chat box. 500 responses. Wow, that's 700 responses. It's a tight race between Group B and A. Okay, let's stop the voting in 3, 2, 1. Start. Yeah, we got 761 responses, and let's see the winners. Okay, Jang Jang. Congratulations to Group A. Right, the supporters is 294 audience. Okay, congratulations, you are the most favorite presenters in this event. Okay. Let's give a clap to Group A on the chat box. Okay. Congrats, Group A. Whoa, it's tight race between Group A and B. Okay. Okay, there are so many celebrations here. Okay. Congratulations. Yeah. Thumb up from Group A. Okay. Right. Now let's move to the next agenda. Yeah. To sum up our event today, we will hear a closing statement, closing remark from Dr. Foni Indah Mutiara. To Dr. Foni Indah Mutiara, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Ares. You have done a very good job as the moderator for this program. I think everyone is, they enjoy the program this morning. So a very good afternoon for everyone. Now we have come to the end of the 4th series of the Virtual Mobility Teen Talk project. On behalf of Universitas Andalas, I would like to take this opportunity to thank to our respected colleagues, UNIMEF, Universitas Malaysia Perlis, we have Taksin University, Prince Songkla University, Universitas Syah Kuala, and also WM Universitas Utara Malaysia. And I would like to also congratulate to my colleagues at Universitas Andalas, the keynote speaker, Dr. Hafiz Rahman, and all mentors from the Faculty of Economics, Dr. Fajri Adianto, Dr. Delvia Tanjung Sari, Dr. Muhammad Fani Al-Farisi, and Dr. Dian Raniolanda. All wonderful presenters, and of course the audience for the success of this program. Lastly, special thanks to the organizing committee, especially Dr. Penny, for making this program possible. Again, congratulate everyone who have done very amazing work for today. I believe that the great benefit of this kind of program helps students to develop their communication skills and also the teamwork. So while listening to your discussion, it's make me think that the students, you are our future. and you are the greatest potential to drive the progress of our society. I hope that this program could encourage the students to get involved in social entrepreneurship and then translate their innovation ideas into action in your country, in your society. So we are waiting for reaction in the next, I think, 2 or 3 years. Finally, I wish everyone stay safe and healthy. So see you on the next program. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Dr. Fani Indah Mutiara for concluding remarks for us. Before we close this agenda, this event, we will have a documentation. So we encourage you to turn on your camera so we can capture all of the audience in this Zoom. Please turn on your camera. We hope we can do it in the speed of light. Okay. Right, start from page 1. Okay, keep your smile. Yeah. Page 2. We got 700 audience here, so be patient. Page 3. Okay. Keep your smile tight, because you don't know on what page you are. Around 20 pages, okay. Right. Okay. I think the host already captured all of the audience. Yeah. Really, you can write. Yeah. Put down your hands. Okay. We already capture you. All right. That was our last agenda for today. We hope that this event could promote social entrepreneurship in 3 countries. Also, we hope that these events could strengthen the relationship and collaboration between 6 universities, Universitas Andalas and Universitas Shah Kuala from Indonesia, University Utara Malaysia and University Malaysia Perlis from Malaysia, and Yaksin University and Prince of Songkla University from Thailand. Thank you for joining us in this IMT-GT Uninet Virtual Mobility Program Series 4. See you again at IMT-GT Uninet Series 5, hosted by University Utara Malaysia. See you guys. Hope you enjoy these events. Don't forget to post on the Instagram and Facebook. We still have prizes for you for the best content creator. Okay, the deadline is tonight.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Okay.
Okay.
Good.